الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله أحمده وأستعينه وأستغفره وأستهديه وأعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم أما بعد. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm sure everyone who has children at public schools, yesterday they had to face the Valentine and they had to, perhaps those who are following up with their kids, they had to hear some stories and some statements from their children, many of which might be to alert us on things that our children are facing and perhaps they are not very ready for. Brothers and sisters, just to set some stage here, among the common acts during that day is for each one in the class to give their peers gifts. So your child is supposed to give the peers gifts, and the same thing from any other child in this classroom. And of course, this is a mixture, and the theme is Valentine. Regardless of the fiqh opinion and all the rulings, Islamic rulings about this, the thing that we all can realize here is that there is a pressure on our kids to behave and to accept those themes as is. And they need to really be part of it, or otherwise they will not fit in this society. This is very clear to all of us. Regardless of whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, there's a huge pressure on all of our kids, perhaps even us, the adults, but let's focus now on the kids, that they have to adhere to the public themes, that as they are being laid out and as they are being presented at the public school. And for any person who has a concern about how those children will be uprooted, how they will be raised, there need to be a minimum effort that each one of us has to spend in order to arm those children, arm those kids with the power, with the ability that they can push back, or at least find a way out of all this pressure, so that they can maintain the principles, they can maintain the belief, they can maintain the beliefs and the understanding of this religion that we belong to. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve all of us. Allahumma ameen. Brothers and sisters, I was talking to one friend of mine who has studied school at a public school in North America, one of the public schools in North America. And he told me a very shocking thing. He said, when I was at high school, I wasn't doing very well, so I had to go to the school counselor. The school counselor made some suggestions for me, and one of the suggestions was, you better have a girlfriend, because I found out that kids with girlfriends perform better at school than those without girlfriends. Wallahi, he told me this, and he said, I didn't have that direct or transparent relationship with my parents, and so this actually impacted me a lot. Of course, alhamdulillah, Allah has preserved this man, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve all of us, Allahumma ameen. But that's a very scary thing. This is one of the things that we hear. Perhaps it's not common all over, but this is one of the things that we may hear, and we just don't know that they happen. And our kids are really going through so many of those challenges when we neither are following up with them, nor we are providing them with the ability or with some support that they need in order to go through these challenges in their time. And brothers and sisters, I mentioned this in a previous khutbah. In one of our high schools here in Maryland, in Howard County, just a few weeks ago, one of the high schoolers made suicide and killed himself, although he was known for being one of the most athletic in the school, very easygoing person, nice person to deal with. But they really go through challenges that we really have to have some minimum understanding of and minimum accommodation of. Just for the record, the student was not Muslim, but this is very alerting, because all of the kids at the school were very much impacted by the news, including Muslims and non-Muslims. And brothers and sisters, hearing about those things, hearing about even more alerting to us would be things like when our kids hear from their teachers that this whole universe has been created by chance or by like randomly or by accident or whatever they call it, Mother Nature, Darwin theory, whatever those things. Perhaps people think that it is just one class in biology and that's it, and that our kids will go over it. But brothers and sisters, those thoughts are being repeated over and over every single year, every single month, perhaps every single week. And our kids are taking this for granted now. And this is just one of the obvious things that they get, which is in addition to maybe thousands and thousands of other things that they are taking without us knowing and without us correcting or at least giving our insights about it. I still remember at one time I went with my wife to one of the public schools, and it was early on the beginning of the year, and we talked to the instructor that we have some issues that we want you to be aware of. We told them about Salah, the prayer time, and they were very accommodating. One of the things we talked about was the music class. And the teacher was also very accommodating, very, very nicely accommodating. And she said, we can find some way around this. But then she made a note. She said, I want to let you know that there were some studies that proved or that said or that claimed that music can help children to focus more. So if they hear music in the background, certain type of music, of course she was talking about, that they can focus more on their studies. So why are you preventing your children from having those good tools and good aids? So she was just throwing that suggestion. For me, this was very new. But subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with one neighbor, Muslim neighbor, an American convert lady who had children, and she raised them up in North America. And my wife was talking to her, and her statement was, yes, I'm aware of this. And this Muslim American lady, convert lady, she was a school teacher as well, so she is professional one. She said, yes, I am aware of this, but it is not about the music. It's about listening to a rhythm, certain rhythm. So what she did for her children was to bring some of those natural nice sounds, like the sounds of an ocean, sounds of birds, all those things. And she allowed, or she asked her children to listen to these as they were focusing on things. And that was very, very rewarding. So I was like, if someone really thinks about a way out, they will find, and they will find a lot. Brothers and sisters, this was one thing that I really learned from a sister who just embraced Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all strong and steadfast in this religion. The other example that I have seen also was another American convert sister who we met with in Canada. She was American, and her husband passed away, and she had one child. Now her child was very, mashallah, smart and very eager to learn. And of course, she didn't have that much of financial support, so she had to really struggle to, do something to pay off the bills and all that. And because she could not really afford maybe having her child to go to, a proper Islamic education, she had to send him to one of the public schools. But see what she has done in order to preserve this kid. I didn't know about the lady, I didn't know about the kid, but I started to go to one of the masajid close to my home. The masjid was called Jumah in Ottawa, in Canada. And in Salat al-Fajr, the Imam there, an Imam from, I think from Pakistan or from India, mashallah, very nice recitation, very nice leadership of the masjid. But I noticed or observed that every day after Salat al-Fajr, there's this young kid that comes to the prayer. He will pray with us, and then after the prayer, this Imam will take him on the side and spend about 20 minutes with him, teaching him Quran and recitation and all that. So I thought this was something like in person, but then that continued for months. Like months, really, almost a year during my time there. So, and then I observed, and if you know, in Ottawa, it goes very cold in winter. It goes to -40. And I observed that there is one lady who brings this kid to the masjid, despite all the snow, the very heavy snow that goes there, and very risky roads, very risky driving. She would take her kid to the masjid. She will wait outside the masjid until her kid does his prayer, spend the time with the Imam to learn Quran, and then she picks him up and she takes him to the school. So I asked the Imam, what is this? And he told me this is an American lady who moved to Ottawa with her husband. Her husband passed away, and she continued on raising her kids despite all the challenges she is facing. And since that time we knew her, she has been bringing her kid to the masjid and staying with the kid to teach him Quran and to get from the etiquette and to build the nice memories of being attached to the masjid for every single prayer or for every single day, especially during the Fajr prayer. Brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength in this deen. This is not easy. Wallahi, for us as adults, to stick to Salat al-Fajr every day, even on those nice weather days, it is not easy. Let alone when it is snowing, let alone when it is to get our kids who are not yet even mature in their age. Only to make sure that they are being raised according to the Islamic behavior, according to the Islamic teaching. Brothers and sisters, I want to recap from what I have started, that we are facing a lot of challenges to ourselves and to our children. And unless we provide them with the right upbringing, with the right education, and make them love this deen, truly love this deen, not just give them lectures, not just lecturing them, but truly make them love this deen, truly create those nice memories in their minds that they will always remember about the nice time that they have spent being close to their parents and being close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unless we have that, wallahi, I'm not sure how our next generation will be. That it's very, very scary that we are going through a transition in even the very basic beliefs and principles that we belong to and we have. And our children may be very different if we do not really pay that attention to them. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وتوبوا إليه إنه غفور رحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله تعظيما لشانه وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Brothers and sisters, in an ayah that we recite in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, أَمْ كُنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءَ إِذْ حَضَرَ يَعْقُوبَ الْمَوْتُ, or were you witnesses at the time when Jacob, the prophet Jacob, was on his deathbed. إذ حضر يعقوب الموت فقال لبنيه يا بني ما تعبدون من بعدي. So he called upon his children and he asked them a question. O my children, who are you going to worship after me? قالوا نعبد إلهك وإله آبائك إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق إلها واحدا ونحن له مسلمون. They all replied with one voice, we will worship your Lord and the Lord of your fathers, Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac. One God, and we all submit to this God. This ayah tells us about Yaqub, a prophet. We know for sure that Yaqub has been always, constantly focusing on raising his kids in the best way. But the ayah tells us another aspect here. The ayah tells us that this attention and this upbringing and this effort of emphasizing the aqidah and the love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the belief and all that has remained until the last breath. That it was his main and major concern, even on his deathbed. Oh, my children, who are you going to worship after me? It really wonders everyone. This was a prophet. And his children of a prophet. And of course, he did the best type of education to his children. No one can doubt this. But he kept on checking on his children until this last moment in his life. And that was the thing that made him happy before meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much are we doing, brothers and sisters, for our children to make sure that they will remain steadfast on this religion after we die? Even though he was the prophet and he was the most educated person at his time, and he was the most sincere person at his time, he was a prophet among the best people Allah has created on this earth. But yet, this was his concern until the last moment in his life. How much this education, Islamic education, concerns us, brothers and sisters, for our children every day. How much of time are we spending to make sure that not only our children are being educated Islamically, but also that our children are being so much attached with love to this religion? It's easy to force your child to memorize Quran. I say it is easy. It is easy to force and to push your child to memorize Quran. But what is difficult is to make your child love Quran. That is the thing that really will keep them steadfast after your death. When they truly love Quran, that regardless of any of the challenges they go through, they will get back to that Quran that they love. Memorizing the text, many people can do. Many people can do. But we have seen, especially in today's time, that there were people who memorized Quran and now they left the whole entire faith. We have seen that in even the Muslim countries. There are people who are going on the TV channels and they are stating that very straight to the public, that we memorized Quran in the past and now we are atheists. We don't believe in any God. We see that, wallahi, we see that nowadays. Memorizing Quran, pushing them to an Islamic school, sending them to a Sunday school is very good. But that's not enough. That's never enough. What is really important is to make sure that your children really love that Quran, really love that religion, that are willing to change their lifestyle in order to adhere to this education, that they are willing to sacrifice their beloved things in order to make sure that they are following that path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, I hope that I was able to make this statement clear, that during the time of our prophets, they have worked so hard to make sure that they raise their kids with Islamic education and with love to that Islamic education. Now, when we have everything around us to push us away from the religion, we need to put much more effort in order to maintain that foundation in their heart, that inshallah will make them steadfast. And when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we see that our children are really raising the flag of being true believers. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma ighfir lil muslimina wal muslimat والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم يا رب، اللهم يا رحمن يا رحيم يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام، نسألك إيمانا صادقا، نسألك الثبات على هذا الدين، نسألك يا الله الذرية الصالحة. اللهم يا ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله العظيم الجليل يذكركم واشكروا على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استووا اعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا. والذين يؤذون المؤمنين والمؤمنات بغير ما اكتسبوا فقد احتملوا بهتانا وإثما مبينا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. الله أكبر.